safe, breaking out of jails. Bloods and butchers staying fire for the serpents. Entry terrain, no need for disturbance. Straight facts, no myths, bringing the resurgence. Urban community, we foster and curate. Beneath the surface of the scale, secrets unveiled. Red tails wagging, stories detail. Always in your living room, knowledge without fail. Hissing out the wisdom, spreading through the mail. Tongues flicker, seeking out the truth. Non-stop learning, preaching it to the youth.
Hey everybody, it's Ashley Shorttails Sweetie here with my special guest, Phil from Wellington
Hey,
Exotic. Hey. All right,
hey.
before we start, I got a couple of sponsors. Couple.
Ooh.
So first things first, I always like to give a shout out to Chris, who's the man behind the Untamed and Unhinged scene. So shout out Chris. He also is the host for Flexing and Finessing. So if you're like snakes and working out, that's your guy. Also, special shout out to Creative Reptiles. He created my logo, which I love so much, Chris as well. And I love supporting people that are from the Black and Brown community. So there's that. As well as, all right, we got some, warmer seasons happening. So go get your t-shirts or hoodies if it's still a little chilly from Shed Outfitters. Got great selections. I've seen leopard gecko t-shirts, all of that. Use code Untamed for like 10% off. That's a deal. As well as if you have any feeders, if you need any feeders, go to Cold Blooded Cafe. Use the code Untamed and you'll get 20% off there. And then shout out to Susie from Ship Your Reptiles. They just had a show in LA yesterday, so I'd love to know how that goes. If you ever decide to go with them for your next reptile, use the code Untamed for $15 off. And then who else we got here? C&B Reptiles. So they are Arizona's captive bred only. So we like captive bred animals, as well as shout out to Josh from South Bay Reptiles. He's a great wildlife educator, entertainer. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out. And then last but not least, Reptile Crew. He's also an animal educator, and they have really great merch. So go check those guys out. All right, Phil. So I know you have quite the collection. So you got a little bit of, Sumatrans and Bloods, I hear, right? And then you have quite the Coluber collection, and then a crap ton of tarantulas.
Yeah, yeah. I got let's see. I got right now. I've got a couple blood pythons, and I've got a pair of really dark Sumatrans. With the blood pythons, I really like the goldeneye stuff, and then I kind of stumbled into the pollen project, working with some pollen, and then I also like I want to integrate T positive into that as well. So like the T positive golden eyes, maybe a T positive flower, stuff like that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
super
sounds
super
great.
exciting stuff. Um, then I only have a couple species of pythons. Like I said, I got the Sumatrans and the Bloods, and then I have some water pythons, and then that's it. Everything else is a colubrid.
That's awesome.
So I've got I've got quite a few of those. I got a pair of black-tailed crebos. I've got a false water cobra. I've got some grease king snakes from Dr. Loafman. I've got some desert king snakes, some speckled king
Okay.
snakes. I've got some hognose, and then recently I've been getting into a lot of the Nerodia, like
Mm-hmm.
the water snakes and stuff. So um, I've got some Hendry County locale banded water snakes from Chris Montross, and then he also sent me some salt marsh snakes as well. So I really have been enjoying the Nerodia, like that, those North American colubrids. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and then I also have some. I have a garter snake. I've got some Taiwanese beauty snakes.
Do you have
Um,
what is it, the California like garter snakes where they have like the blue and red?
so I have the Oregon red spotted garter snake, but it's the blue phase. So my garter snake's actually blue.
Okay,
So it's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. I only have
that's interesting.
female right now. Yeah. I
And it's
definitely
a
want to get
female. I
her.
love
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
it.
No, she's the best. She's the best. Super active. I keep her ambient. She's like
Okay, yeah.
bulletproof. Eats whatever, literally whatever, like chicken hearts, tilapia, pinkies,
Okay,
fuzzies, kind of
that
whatever.
sounds like a colubrid. They eat
Yeah,
whatever,
you just kind of I
anything.
leave it on a plate, like I put a little plate or
Hmm.
whatever, I leave it up there, and it just kind of works out. But I definitely want to get like one or two males for sure. See if I can get some little baby blue garter snakes. Those would be super super cool. Just because they're so easy to care for and they're so active. Like uh, Joan,
What'd you
um,
say? Phil,
Phil
Phil
needs
needs some
some
morella.
Morelia. Yeah, one day, man. One. It's all in due time. All in due time. Um,
So I guess
uh,
like what got you like into reptiles, or like what is it about the colubrids that like really piques your interest?
I like how active they are.
Yeah.
They're always doing something, and it's like it's a little weird because like obviously blood pythons are the opposite, but like
Yeah.
you're kind
Sleeping
of
all the
meeting.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of meeting different needs though, because they're like a pretty good size. It's a good sized snake, but it's also not
Mhm.
that long.
Mhm.
And then I find the care super easy for shorttails. They like it
Oh
really
yeah.
cool, not really cool, but like cooler in terms of pythons. So it works really
Mhm.
well with my room, just like my temperatures and stuff.
Same. Like
So
my house, I think I told you one day, I said I keep my house on average like 80.
yeah, you could just kind
So
of
they're
vibe
like,
ambient with that.
yeah, if with those guys, if it like peaks anywhere from like, I think 84 is where my girl's like, all right, I'm getting pissy now, you
Yeah,
know?
no, straight up. Yeah,
So
I keep
they
my
don't
heat
really
my
like it
hotspot
hot.
at that. Yeah, no, not at all. Which like works out if because I have quite a few animals on ambient in here. Like the dry marcon are mostly on ambient. They do have heat panels and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
the herb status set super low. The Taiwanese beauties are on ambient, like ambient temperatures. The garter snake is ambient. In the summer, like I take the North American
Mm-hmm.
water snakes or whatever. Those are ambient as well. Um, so a lot of stuff just kind of vibes ambient. It's super easy. They eat whatever.
Hmm. Now for the, is there obviously, is it a locality thing or is there a difference? Isn't there like Chinese beauty snakes and then there's the
Yeah, there's a
Taiwanese, or what
ton
did you
of
just say?
different. The beauty snake complex is it's really something. There's Taiwanese beauty snakes. There's Vietnamese,
Oh my God.
Chinese. There's tons of different like I don't know localities within those two. Um,
Yeah.
but I really like I don't know the Taiwanese ones. They get about 6 feet, and their temperament is probably the most mellow. Mine are much more like skittish than like they would rather run than kind of bite. Some of the Vietnamese and some of the other beauty snakes are a little bit kind of the other way. Not
Mm-hmm.
that that really matters to me, but I also really like the Taiwanese beauty snakes are just gorgeous. Like if you see them in pictures, you see them on Instagram. They're the yellows and the blacks and the whites are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're crazy.
Now I know you have like what is it? False water not false water chameleons. False water cobras.
Yeah, I have one. I have one. He's
So I
cool.
was gonna ask you, are those guys, are they venomous, or are they just as venomous as like a hognose? It's like a bee sting reaction, or could
Well,
you
so a
really
hognose
get?
is actually really way more venomous than a bee sting reaction. I don't know. Recently, Dr. Loafman actually shared a post on Facebook that someone went into like had a serious thrombocytopenic reaction where they had like too many platelets or something,
Mm,
and their
uh-huh.
arm got really swollen, all from a hognose bite. Hognose, I would say it's a similar mechanism as to a hognose, right? They're both rear
Mm-hmm.
fang venomous, but I
Right.
don't know if I could compare the venoms in terms of toxicity. Like I've never my false water cobra is super chill. So like
Mhm.
he's never even considered biting me. But
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't let him chew on me if he did bite me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's kind of when
Yeah,
you're gonna get into
exactly.
trouble is when they chew, when they like really start to get you for a prolonged period of time.
Right. And that's usually
Because
what I
their
tell
fangs are in the
people.
back of their mouth. Yeah.
So I'm like, they really gotta
So they have to break their Duvernois gland, which is the gland that secretes
the venom
the proteins.
or
Yeah,
the
the
okay.
proteins, like the kind of the Walmart brand venom that they've got. And if
Okay.
anything, it's more
I
like
like that Walmart brand
well,
venom.
it's not like a true venom. You know what I mean? It's more
Right.
like something to kind of like decrease. It's an anticoagulant. It's something that's going to hurt. You're going to swell. There's going to be a bunch of heparin in the area. It's going to bleed a
Mhm.
lot, but it's not like it's not causing like nerve damage or stopping your breathing or shredding.
Right.
It's nothing like that.
I think a lot of people too, when they hear the word cobra, oh my God,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. It's just because they flatten their heads. They kind of like flatten their heads a
yeah,
little
they
bit
look like a cobra.
sometimes. Yeah, yeah. He
But it's
looks
good to
super
hear that
goofy.
like your guy's pretty chill. They're not as crazy as they sound, you know?
It's all food drive. They have like a really high food drive. So, I spend some time with mine. So like every time I open the door, it's not like, oh, he's gonna get fed. You know what I mean? He doesn't
Mhm.
like shoot out at me. He's
Yeah.
kind of like, what's going on?
Yeah. I was also gonna ask you, so you have Caribos, correct?
Yeah, I have
You
two
you have the
Caribos. Yeah,
Caribos?
I do.
And
Yeah,
I've worked with like one or two, and I think that they're so cool. They're like seven
they're
feet
some of my
long. They're
favorite.
super intelligent. For a
Yeah,
snake, you can see them think, and I think that's pretty interesting.
they're definitely super visually oriented. Um, they poop a lot, but they're really cool. I have two of the blacktail Cribos. I have a 2024 hatchling, and then I have maybe he's 2021 or 2022. I have a
Hmm.
larger male, and geez, they're both a lot of fun to work with. Like my larger Crebo is super curious. Like if he's like peeking at me right now. If I was to open the door,
Yeah.
he'd come out and see
He'd be
what's
like,
good and
"What's up, dude?"
start making a mess, start knocking shit over, start just like really
Poop,
getting into
poop
places where he
wearing the
shouldn't be.
tail. I was
Yeah,
gonna tell
yeah,
you.
yeah, dude.
That's the
He's the
fun part about
only.
colubrids.
It is It's a little more cleanup. I actually have. So I have them on some mulch, and I've got recycled newspaper kitty litter in hefty tubs
Okay.
in there. And so, like most of the time, I would say like probably 6 or 7 out of 10 times, he'll poop in one of the boxes, and
Hmm.
it'll just go in the kitty litter, and it's a super easy cleanup.
Sounds like
Um,
he can be like litter box trained.
yeah, I'm working towards that. We're working towards that right now. Um, yeah, so that's kind of how I like, I don't know, beat that,
How
cheat,
you do
cheat that
that? Yeah.
system. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like how I can like mitigate the frequent poops because every time he eats, it's like at least 2 to 3 poops per eat.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah.
it is what it is, dude. He just processes food. It's like he's a machine. Yeah,
So
the
say
same
I
thing with the
don't.
little one.
Yeah, I don't have. I have, like I said, I've worked with the Karibo, a blacktail one, and then like the only colubrids I have are like a corn snake, and yeah, she's my messiest out of my collection. Whereas
Yeah,
like the
no, they
short
definitely
tails,
are.
they'll hold on to their poop for a couple months and make me worry and have a panic attack.
Yeah, and then when they go, you'll know about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you'll know about it for sure. No, I definitely get what you mean. I the when the short tails go, I can definitely smell it
Yeah.
before I get in the snake room. Yeah, yeah, it's like pretty serious for sure.
The fun thing about keeping snakes, guys.
Yeah, right.
Um, I was gonna ask you, like, The last Karibo that I worked with didn't make it over, the stupidest thing. Um, Temperature. I hear that they're very temperature sensitive.
They're prone to high temperatures. Like, in the wild, they're constantly moving. They're
Mm-hmm.
constantly going places, doing stuff. Um, you know, they're not sitting in one spot, so they don't do well with prolonged exposure to high heat. I
Mm-hmm.
have my Kribos. They're set to 77. That's the hot spot.
Okay. That's like ambient at that point.
It never gets like my herp stats like rarely turn on. Sometimes in the winter, like in the winter when
Mm-hmm.
it's real cold out here, they'll turn on for a little bit, but I also have it set to ramping. So the heat panels, like, it doesn't just go to 77 when the lights turn on. It ramps up to that over like a 4 or 5 hour
Right.
period. So it's a very gradual increase in heat. So I have that kind of as a safety measure. I also have them in 6 foot enclosures so they can,
It's
they
also
can
enough to
get away,
stretch and
hopefully,
yeah.
stretch, get away from that heat. Just because like prolonged exposure, I don't know. I would never want mine anywhere near 85 degrees.
Yeah.
I don't know how other people keep them. I just
Yeah.
wouldn't want them that hot. Like I keep mine below 80 most of the time, 78, 79 at the most, and they crush it. They do awesome.
Hmm. Yeah, that's pretty. I'd say for most colubrids, um, it's like ambient, cooler temperatures. Think outside.
It makes it, yeah,
Think
it makes it
spring,
easy. It's
summertime.
great. Yeah, it's kind of nice. It's like really nice.
I say they're probably one of the easiest snakes to. I'm talking colubrids, not blacktails.
Yeah.
Colubrids are more hardier and easier snakes to care for. The same with ball pythons too. But even then, their heat is like 90 degrees.
I was gonna say, yeah, ball pythons still need a little bit of heat, whereas colubrids, they're pretty bulletproof. Like hognose, you got to brumate pretty cold,
Yeah, yeah.
like below 50 degrees. You know what I mean?
Right,
Maybe around
right.
50
Like
degrees.
like like
I don't
at
know.
fall, winter time. I know
Yeah.
like you're in New England. I'm in, the Midwest, so both places get pretty cold.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, no, exactly. So they go underground somewhere and they figure it out. They kind of square it
mhm.
away. So yeah, which is nice, which is nice. I right this is my first season like this winter. Food
Mhm.
food cycling and temperature cycling my Taiwanese beauty snakes. I should have been doing this years ago. It's so much less cleanup, it's less food. They
Yeah,
thrive
yeah.
on the neglect. The animals are still growing. It's just like
Just
like
leave
not
them alone.
neglect,
They'll
like
figure it out.
yeah, dude, you just let them do their thing. Like they have plenty of water, and I fool around with the light cycles a little bit, and
Mhm.
they just they're cycling fine. They're getting huge still.
Now, do you breed any of your like colubrids or even like your short tails? Do you breed them at all? I know that was
Yeah,
something you
I got a
wanted to
clutch
do.
this year from my golden eye crossed with a T positive.
I
So
might
I
be
got
interested
some.
there. Might hit you up.
Yeah, dude, I got one left. That's one girl left that I'm working on establishing
Finding
her.
her the right place. Yeah.
She's currently just eating washed rats. She'll only eat them if they're
Okay.
washed. Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't know. I was lucky I got her eating, but I was listening to Trap Talk and Gary Shabino was talking about it, and I tried it and it worked like a charm, and I was like, okay. So now
So
she'll
what is washed rats?
so
Just
like I
out of
get a rat,
interest.
like I just get a rat, right? And then I get some
Mm-hmm.
unscented Dawn dish soap, and I put the soap on the rat when it's frozen,
Okay.
and then I'll wash it until all
Mm-hmm.
the soap is gone, and then I'll put it in a little baggie. And then when I go when
Huh.
I go to feed him, I'll just heat that up in the bag, and she smokes it every time. And Gary was talking about
Okay.
doing that for his picky arboreals, which like I don't know, dude. I don't know if there's a correlation there, but it worked. So she eats
Huh.
it every time now. So I'm just like slowly kind of weaning her off of the
The
like
washed
using
rat.
less and less soap, thawing it with
Okay.
rats that were unwashed. So eventually she'll figure it out, because she's a monster when she wants to eat.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard the term like washed maybe once or twice with like some for feeding terms and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, you can do
I
that
was
with
wondering.
pinkies too. I had one of the
I wonder
desert
why
king
they
snakes
like
I
it
got.
washed.
So when a lot of these rats die, they piss everywhere because they're
So they're
fucking
like,
suffocating to death.
this is
Yeah, yeah.
gross.
Yeah, so they're literally they're getting gassed to death, so they're just
Yeah,
peeing, and
yeah.
that smell can be really overwhelming to some like young snakes, you know.
Oh,
So that's why sometimes washed or boiled pinkies work really well for like
okay.
picky, smaller colubrid feeders.
Mm-hmm.
One of my desert king snakes would only eat boiled pinks for like 3 weeks, you know.
Probably because he's a desert, so he likes it hot. He likes hot
Dude,
food and
he
hot
was just a
temperatures.
pain, dude. He was just a pain. Every time I'd open the door, he'd be like rattling his little
Yeah.
tail, and then he'd be like flinging poop if I had to touch him or do anything. It was he's
Oh
getting
my
better. He's
God.
getting better for sure. But when they're little string beans like that, it's
That's usually what I tell people too, is like, okay, when they're
you got to
younger,
kind
they
of
can
take it with a
tend to be
grain of salt.
more defensive and stuff. I
Yeah,
mean, they're new to the world. I mean,
yeah.
but I
They don't
try
know.
not to like I try not to base their entire personality like right away when they're babies, because there's, you can work with them. You
Yeah, it
have
takes
time.
time, as they grow and as they become comfortable and stuff. You know what I mean? Like
Because I
my
have quite the story with Ma. If y'all would have heard the first time I got Ma, she was a
Yeah,
wild
I'm
one.
sure. Yeah, yeah, no, it takes time. They got to get to know you. Like my golden eye male from Nerd. He was the same way. He was pretty awful. Now
Yeah.
he tolerates my behavior, and that's all I can ask.
I did a newbie type of thing though. I brought her home. She was in like really deep blue.
There
And I
you
was like,
go.
I want to hold her. And I held
Yeah,
her and she was like, absolutely not.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But
that's
I
cute.
never tried to take that personally. I was like, you know
Yeah,
what?
she can't see.
That's a me.
She doesn't know. You know what I mean? No,
You're
absolutely.
right. Right.
I
Same thing with like my boa too. That I'm
Yeah.
proud of her progress because she wasn't handled very often. Now with where we've come, I'm proud to say that I can just take her out whenever. It takes time. You got to
It
work with
does
them.
take time. My boa, like he's the only boa I have. He was the second snake I ever got. He's a cool dude. He's a good guy, but he just loves eating. So like,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna take him out, like you gotta let him know that it's like, hey, this isn't that, and
Right? Yeah.
then he's cool. Like if he comes out, he's like, oh, this is sweet, dude. You guys aren't offering me chicks or anything. Like I can, I don't have to eat right
I
now.
can
Like this is great.
roam, I can chill.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a cool dude once he gets out, but like I have a bunch of mounted PVC pipes in my enclosures.
Okay.
Um yeah,
That's
so
really
like
cool. I never thought
I
about doing that.
I mounted a bunch of them
I see.
with
I
just
see.
like some hardware from Home Depot
Mhm.
because it's Home Depot, and
That's where you get the
um
good stuff, guys. It
that's
doesn't
the
have to be
best pet store. Yep.
complicated.
Nope, nope. Just like iodized little like nuts and bolts and some PVC fittings. And dude, he's up there constantly in the PVC fitting, just like perched up, like doing snake stuff. It's so cool to watch. And like,
Yeah.
best part about PVC, folks, it does not rot. It does not rot. It does not rust. It does not mold. PVC is like hell. I dishwash some of my stuff. If I got PVC fittings and you know what I mean, and I got to clean it, I'll put it in the dishwasher. It's unsanitized, and that stuff's indestructible.
They're easy to clean, they
It's
don't
the
break.
best. They don't break at all, dude. The snakes love them. It's just tubes. If you think about it, it's just a tube.
I think a lot of people are like they don't think about the hardware store because they're like, well, it's got to be reptile, so they're essentially buying something because it
It's
says
all clever
reptile.
marketing. It's all
Yeah,
clever marketing.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, that's all it is. Like
Hi, Jen. I saw you. Hi, Jen.
the all my okay, so if I was more handy, I'd be building my own cages. Like I'm not
Oh,
that good.
absolutely.
Like I'm not that that good with that. I'll end up making mistakes and have to just run back and forth to the Home Depot. But if I
Right.
was good
I
like that,
think
I'd be making my own cages.
I think like the closest like the thing that I do that I don't buy from like any of the stores is like my wood or like leaf litter.
Yeah, yeah. You
Go to
can just
forest preserve.
if you go somewhere and it's like not like heavily like hit with chemicals, pesticides, like
Mhm.
I just go in my yard.
I've made my own substrate too.
Yeah, I do that too for my
Menards, Home
tarantulas.
Depot,
Yeah, you
Lowe's
get
for
you get
my South
organic.
people.
Yeah, no, literally, you get your organic timberline topsoil, and
Mhm.
like that's all my substrate is timberline mulch from
I will
Home
say,
Depot.
now that the weather's getting warmer, have you noticed? I've noticed. So I wonder if you guys can see. I have fungus gnats now because sometimes they come in the bag of organic
So
mulch.
you gotta freeze it.
So,
You gotta freeze it. I left all mine out in the back.
oh,
Yeah, when it was super cold, I froze all mine, and then I have some stuff in my like rodent freezer downstairs. So all my
now I
substrate is
know.
like frozen until I use it. I mean, they'll get, there's definitely still gnats in my snake room, right? I've got a bunch of tarantulas, I've got a bunch of
Yeah.
substrate. It's unavoidable, but you can mitigate it a little bit.
I do that or like hi Zevo. Zevo, their little light traps are like
Yeah, dude,
there's
I
like
got two
fungus
right
gnat
here.
spray.
I got one over here, one over there, dude. Yep. Yeah,
Love to
no, those
sponsor
things rip.
Zevo.
Those things rip. I'm changing the little like pad things every like probably two or
All
three
the
weeks in the
time.
summertime
Yeah.
because there's so many. Yeah, I
Uh,
get what you mean. It's the worst.
it's pros and cons, but now I know freeze my mulch or freeze my organic soil. That's a
Yeah,
nice little
for real.
tip.
I don't keep my short tails on substrate though. I keep them on paper
Okay,
because
yeah, I
it
think I've
is
seen that.
it's just so much
Easier
easier.
for cleanup.
It's
Yeah.
just because if you give them like a good sized water bowl and
Mhm.
you can put that near the heat panel, or even I'll just pour some water in the enclosure.
Mhm.
Like the humidity is fine. You can really kind of work with that. It's just like when they pee, like
Wait,
I'm not.
I'm trying to show you. Check out this humidity. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's humidity right there. But when that snake pees, it's probably like a literal procedure to get that stuff out.
Probably. I know I've had her on um mulch or not mulch, like soil, and then I've
Hmm.
tried just recently the Reptichip. I don't really like the Reptichip for at least the short tails.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I've tried short tails on substrate. I'm just gonna keep with the paper. The paper is just
Just
so
keep
easy.
with the
It's so
paper. It's
cheap.
easier to clean.
It's
Yeah.
point and shoot. You can't screw it up. Like, and what's cool about the paper is like you can like really tear a bunch of it and fold it up so it's super thick, and they love like going in it
Bearing,
and
I've
under
seen
it
that. Yeah,
all
their
the time. And
enrichment.
I keep all my cereal boxes and I like will tear those in half, and they love hanging out in the cereal boxes as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty
Now
cool.
I'm getting ideas. Now I'm getting ideas.
Well, just like I'm gonna recycle this cereal box anyway, so like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's the same. It's very similar to the paper, so you just boom, toss it in there. They love it.
What do you think? Cereal boxes?
Yeah, dude, he's a cornflakes guy.
He's actually pretty active when you get him out. He acts more like a colubrid. He's
Yeah,
just been
they're
going and
pretty
going and
curious when they're
going.
out. Like when they're not, when they're out and about, they're pretty curious.
Reminder, this was what Brittany from Strongtail. She went to Tinley one year, and I think we eyeballed the same guy because she wanted this guy. He's a super latte Borneo, and
I need
she's
to
like,
get Borneos. I need to get
I
Borneo.
wanted him. I want
Some
the triple
Borneos are.
trifecta too. I want this year Richard Crowley shout out.
Yes,
He's
goat,
gonna be
goat,
there. I
goat.
always go to his table.
He's got all the
He's got
gas.
Yeah, and he's got like the darkest of dark Sumatran short tails that I've seen thus far, and I'm like, ooh, I really want it. So
Yeah, no, I love the Sumatrans. My
I can't decide if I want a pumpkin head or like a basic chrome.
so the some of the chromes, the contrast is crazy.
Yeah.
This is my Sumatran from Kara, who I got 2 years ago, maybe a year ago, and she's getting her boyfriend is in shed right now, but
Mm-hmm.
she's super dark, and she's just gonna darken up.
Look at that. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can do it.
Mm,
Bear with me, guys. Bear with me,
Look at this
guys.
dude.
Trying to do this. Hold on. Wait. I don't know. I forgot how to do it. Chris
Do
will show
what?
me again. I'm trying to make it so it's just you, so we can
Oh,
see.
no, don't even worry
But
about it.
look at that.
So dark.
And they get darker as they get
Yeah,
older, which
yeah.
is
With
just
every
like, oh
shed,
my
she just
God.
darkens up like crazy, and like her boyfriend is like he's like straight black. Like he's in shed right now, so he looks like straight blue. But when he's not in shed, like I don't know. I'm lucky that Kara sold him to me because he's legitimately insane. Like I was like, holy shit.
Is that
Um,
Kara from the blood cell?
yeah,
Or was it
yeah.
cold-blooded Earth?
Kara from the blood cell.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, he is so dark. It's crazy. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Probably 2 years. I'll pair those. Probably two
Now,
years.
how long do you wait to pair your shorties?
Females got to be at least four and
That's
change.
right.
Got to have
Yeah.
good body condition. And then if I'm asking someone, if I'm thinking, is it too early to pair this snake? It's too early to pair that snake. Okay,
Yeah.
it's just got like there can't be like any question about the body condition of the animal. Like, all right, this snake is
Right.
healthy. Like, this is happening. Like,
Because I
so
know,
yeah,
I know is it more so that we want to wait for the female, essentially? I mean, she's taken more of the,
yeah. Because the dude,
obviously
like,
the
I
work.
mean, the
I mean,
male, the male,
he's
like,
like 2.5 going on 3.
he could,
I'm still obviously
like, next
waiting,
year,
but
you could probably pair him
yeah,
next year if you fed him a couple, two,
couple
three
more
extra large
stuffs.
rats. He'd be, yeah, he'd
Yeah.
be ready. He'd be ready to
Which
rumble.
he
Like,
just ate recently, and I'm like, you're chunking up. I'm excited.
yeah, I know. I love it. I love it. I'm almost to the point of feeding. I don't know. There's only a couple snakes of mine that'll eat XL rats, probably like three right now, three or four.
Yeah. I think he ate his first like large or jumbo the other day. When I
Yeah,
first got him, I was like a little nervous because I was like, what is up with this? Like, I don't know if you guys can see it. This like
it's fine.
spine thing going on. I don't like seeing that. And I was, talking, and I sent Elias from Juggernaut, and I was like, I was Elijah
It's
from
Elijah. Yeah,
Juggernaut. Yeah, and I was like, is this normal? Is he underfed? What's happening? But he's like, he looks good. Just bump him up a little bit. And I'm like, okay, I'm
just
just
like feed
helicopter
him.
mom here.
Just like give him more food. Yeah, no, they could take
Yeah.
huge meals. I just gave my 2024 hatchlings. Like, I'll take one out shortly. I just gave them their first small rat, and holy shit, they destroyed it. They like
Oh yeah.
absolutely mauled it, and I was like, good, perfect, excellent. Like, I
Oh,
want
he's
to
about to
see
show
here.
us, guys. He's about to show us.
Let's see if this is the one. Oh, she's in shed. Hold on, time out. Wrong one.
It seems like every time I show off my guys to my Brazilian rainbow boas, they're always in blue. And I'm like, guys, you're not looking
Like
great.
same. So here, how do I? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. Doo-doo-doo. This is GoldenEye Het T positive, female. Hold back. Ooh, I really like this. this like lateral stripe here. Highness. Ooh.
She's awesome.
Yeah,
And
she.
this is one that you created, or you one of your clutch guys, right?
Yeah, yeah. Pretty. She hatched July 5th.
She's a Cancer! Sorry to yell. Sorry for
No,
my
that's fine.
microphone.
She's awesome. So I really like also the dark stripe here down the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Her dad's a looker, dude. I got lucky too with him. So I'm excited. I really want to make some like pink magpies. I really want to
That
make
would
some
be
pink
cool.
magpies. Yeah, when I was at Nerd, Kevin was showing me some of the pink animals, the pinkish animals that are related to her dad, and they were pretty pink. They were
Mm-hmm.
pretty darn pink, and I was like, "Geez, these are crazy!" Like,
Like really,
um,
the color pink?
yeah, the
Or
golden eyes had
pretty.
some serious pinkish blushing on their near their heads and stuff. It was really cool to see.
Ooh.
So it's gonna, that's something I'd like to kind of lean into,
Mm-hmm.
especially with that T positive albino influence. Um,
Yeah.
that should help with the pinks, which
That
is
would be
exciting.
cool. If you bred like I think you said like the T positive albino. If you bred like a darker red, would that bump up the pigment or like
Mm.
make it
I'm not
the
sure
pink?
because all that darker red, that's not like recessive or co-dominant. That's a result of line breeding. So that's like
Oh,
you get
okay.
two red animals, you take the reddest animal, then you breed that to the reddest animal, and you take the reddest from there. You know what I mean? As opposed to Pixel and Matrix. Yeah, Matrix is crazy, dude. You could do some crazy stuff with
Yeah.
that. Um, I don't know. I just like the golden eyes. It's incomplete dominant, so it's a great base morph. And the magpies are definitely like
I
if you
think
get a
yeah,
they're crazy.
what's the check out this one. What's the difference between a matrix and a T positive?
Well, a T positive is a type of albino. Matrix is like
I think it's more like the
not a
pattern, like
yeah. It's like a pattern morph as opposed to like an albinism.
what's this one say?
The
Oh, hi.
I really like the
Okay,
pink head on the Matrix. Yeah, there you go. The pink head on the magpies. It looks like
yeah,
almost like a worm. Honestly, almost like an earthworm. You know what I mean? But it's a
yeah,
friggin'
yeah.
huge blood python.
I like my so far um morph or pattern that I like thus far is the matrix or is it the Baytix?
The Batix, yeah, those are sweet too.
Yeah.
The
They got some
so
wild just like
just
trick your
wild
eyeballs.
patterning. The some of the Borneos that Rob from Nerd has produced, some
Mm-hmm.
of the skunk stuff is crazy.
Rob!
I was
Hi, Rob!
I was talking to him about those eventually. I was like, shit, I gotta get some of those because I want to be really selective with the Borneos that I pick up. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
dude, you don't.
yeah.
There's so much shit with Borneos, like so much stuff going on. There's like the triple stripe ones, which are crazy looking.
This
Then you get
guy's
the ghost stuff.
this guy's super latte. So both parents were lattes and then he got the supers.
Yeah, like he's cool too because he's got like I don't even know. But Borneo's got some weird stuff going on, man. Their genetics are like
Look at that.
they're so cool.
And he's so docile. The only thing
Yeah,
that bothers me is the spine, but we're getting there. We're working on it.
yeah.
He's
All
a
in due
great
time.
eater.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, they most of them are.
Okay, So he got an extra treat the other night. My white lip decided I'm not gonna eat today because I'm in deep blue, and
Yeah.
so I gave him the chick to try it out, and he loved it. And then I was like, okay, but it's like your real dinner time now. So
I'm sure he didn't say no
he,
to seconds.
and
Like,
he didn't say no to seconds.
yeah, they usually eat pretty quick. They're usually
Yeah,
pretty good about that.
I'm guilty of spoiling or treating my guys. I'm cutting
If
back though because I was like, you know what? After my conversation with Stronghold, I was like, you're right. They might be a little bit. She might be a little bit on the bigger side. We'll cut
thick,
back.
yeah, it's really easy to throw weight, like to put weight on them, but it's much harder to lose it, you know.
Yeah.
So I feed, unless I'm like pairing my female, I feed my adults like once a month.
Yeah, same.
It's
I
so
think
nice.
I was feeding her like a jumbo though. And then when I was talking to them, they were like, she can just be fine on a large. Like she doesn't need the biggest rat.
Yeah, I mean they're right. You know, you could probably get away with. I'm gonna be honest. I could get away with medium rats for my adult male.
Yeah,
He doesn't need
yeah,
to be big at all, dude. He's fine. He's like 13, 14 pounds. They like that's it.
yeah. And these guys are known to be like 30 pounds at
Yeah, that's
times.
what I'm saying. Like, I really don't want a 30-pound like meat hamster. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you wanna kind of
I want to be able to handle her and not have it a workout dumbbell every time I
yeah,
get her out.
yeah, and also you want them to last longer than 5 years too, right? You
That
know,
too. That too.
and there's
Yeah,
no need to feed more than every couple weeks. They do really well.
right.
They're really good at using all of the food that they're given. Very
Because
efficient.
they have like a slower metabolism than,
Yeah, super slow metabolism.
colubrids or the
Yeah.
balls or anything like
hmm
that.
Well, or anything that you're going to keep at a much higher heat, right? These guys are super
Mm-hmm.
sedentary. They kind of do their own thing in the wild, almost even fossorial. They're
Yeah.
near like tree
Because I've seen her
branches, and
bury
they
before. I've
yeah,
seen her
they love
bury
doing
herself
that.
before.
They love doing that. With just like they stick their nose out or wherever. Yeah, it's super
Hmm.
cool. Yep.
I was going to ask you, we were just talking about your breeding project with the shorties. Do you have plans, obviously, for your colubrids?
Yeah, I'm gonna pair the Taiwanese beauties up in like probably 2 seasons. Um, and then the grease king snakes next year. And then I really like the speckled kings. They hate me, mine hate me, but I really like them. So I think they're cool. I think that their speckling is really pretty. But yeah, no, I friggin' love the Taiwanese beauties. I'll take my big dude out because he's right here, and I'll
Nice.
just show him. He's like, I don't know, he's all over the place. Like, he can be kind of skittish. He is skittish. Not he can be, he is. But he's not a biter. Only if
Okay.
there's chicken involved or like food or something. He would much rather just like run away.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty timid. Oh, come here, dude. So like he's super cool looking, but he's all over the place. Mhm. And let me tell you, he'll eat anything. I've even given him quail eggs.
So I've seen some snakes like obviously eat the eggs or colubrids eat eggs, egg eaters. Those
hmm
are always cool. Do you
Yeah,
just
these.
give them the egg whole or do you
Yeah,
like crack it
I
up?
put it on a plate. I put it on a plate, and he just ate it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, only fine dining over here. Like all my colubrids use china. Like,
Five-star restaurant at Phil's.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I feed all the colubrids really off like plates and stuff. and it
Mm-hmm.
just makes the cleanup so much better. Like little plastic, little lids, or little even like
Mm-hmm.
little small little baby plates. Like
I do
maybe
that with my hoggy too. She'll
yeah,
come
so that
and
they don't
eat
get
on.
it.
She'll eat on her own time.
Yeah, I do that with my hogs too. Same with this guy. Like
It's
the
very convenient.
they can be skittish. Like this Taiwanese beauty can be pretty skittish. So I just like leave like you said, I just leave it in there. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he'll leave it until the lights go out. You know what I mean? If he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
feel like, like he'll get to it eventually. It might take him 4 or 5 hours, but he will get to it. Yeah.
I know for my girl, and I don't know if your hoggies or like any of your other colubrids, they have their favorite prey choice. So her least favorite is like rodents, anything rodent. So then
Yeah.
I'll have to buy like a knoll or like toad juice and like put it on there.
Oh, do some
She's
scenting. That's
she
wild.
yeah, she's eaten frogs before. I did have a tomato frog that passed away on me, and I'll be honest, the economy. I had a broke folks
Recycled.
day.
You recycled, dude. Yeah.
I
Yeah. No,
did,
you got
and
to do
I
what
was
you got to do.
I de-thawed out that passed away tomato, and I fed it to her, and she did not. She left it clean.
Yeah.
She ate
I
it.
feed. Let's see. I feed the hogs mostly pinks because they're still wicked tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like this big. Um, I feed. So the Kribo won't eat rats. My
What does he eat?
larger dude, he eats chicken gizzards, chicken
So
hearts,
anything but
chicken
rat.
liver, mice. He just hates I don't know, he doesn't like rats. Like if I give him a plate of rats and mice, he'll just eat the mice and leave the rats. Like he just doesn't want
Oh
rats.
my
So
God.
that's
Like,
cool.
these
I
are
mean,
dirty. These are dirty.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, that's fine. The rats are a little more pricey. We can save those for the big snakes, you know.
Right? Yeah.
I go to the local Asian supermarket and I just get their
Do
organ
you
meats, and it's
really?
yep,
Oh,
it's
I
literally
was gonna
so
say, do you
cheap.
get
It's
okay.
literally so cheap. I spent probably $80 on chicken gizzards and hearts, and that was like probably 6 to 8 months of just like,
Oh wow.
feeding just occasionally, throwing them in with the Taiwanese beauties, the Kribos. I get a lot of tilapia fillets too. Cut them
Mm-hmm.
up, put them
Yeah.
on a plate.
Salmon. Salmon here. Fine dining.
As long as it's boneless, yeah, oh yeah, chew on it. The garter snakes love it. Really all the colubrids,
That's
they're
awesome.
not super picky, and you don't have to heat it up too. You don't have to do any of that bullshit.
Yeah, true. I know. It's the nice part. I was
You
gonna
just like
say,
put it in there.
I,
Here,
with the garter snakes, I've seen some people like obviously they live in colonies.
yeah, they can
I
be
don't
communal.
know.
Yep.
So that's
So
I watched that
this
the other
this
day.
snake that I got, she was living in a large tank with three other garter snakes, and then
Mm-hmm.
this dude was selling some of them and keeping some of them, so he sold that one to me. I plan to keep them communally eventually. Like once I get some males, I just need to make sure they're like not food for her.
That's
Like
my
you know what I
biggest
mean?
worry is like they're a colubrid. They do eat other snakes. So like how do we do communally?
Well, we
Or is
just
that just a risk that we
we make
take?
sure he's big enough. We keep an eye on him when we're feeding. Um, we make sure everyone's got food in their mouth so they don't, try to
Yeah.
grab it from others.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That's awesome.
It's
I
super
think they're so
cool.
cool.
They're really active.
I have like just the boring black and yellow garter snakes, but
The
if I lived
checker
in
or
California,
like those ones are cool. Garter snakes as a whole are cool. Even eastern
they
garter
were
snakes.
like the first snake, one of the first snakes that I like held. Um, and got like over my quote unquote like fear, or like I was more curious about them
Hmm. Hmm.
with the garter snakes. But I think my fear was that they moved really fast, and I was like, "Oh my God, sensory issues."
Yeah, yeah, they do move pretty fast. They are pretty quick. Like they're never like I don't know. Mine is going crazy right now.
Right
Just like
now, he's just like,
yeah, she's going from left to right. She's climbing on shit. She's looking at me like everyone's peeking. They're like, "What are you doing?"
and I think I like the colubrids too because they're more active during the day,
Yeah, they. I don't
whereas
know.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah. The
other
pythons
guys
are
are like,
always
I'm
up at
only coming
night.
out when it's at night. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely watch the Crebo just like do snake stuff on my cameras because I have a couple cameras in here.
Hmm.
So I just watch them, and the Crebo's constantly doing Crebo stuff.
Oh my gosh.
It's
I
like
would love a
constantly
Karibo.
swimming. They're super easy, super cool. They're a little pricey.
Yeah. Or there's
Um,
like, I know there's the indigos, but obviously indigos are, they're not easily accessible
there's a
from
couple
what
different
I,
types of
hear.
indigo snakes. There's Texas indigo
Okay.
snakes. There's Mexican indigo snakes, Trimarchon rubidus. Those are pretty. Like you can get those. They're not free, but you can get
Yeah.
those. Like the yellowtails and the blacktails are the most readily available. The yellowtails get ginormous though, and they can be a
Yeah.
little more temperamental. Yeah, I've seen they get pretty big. They're from farther south, like South America, whereas like
Okay.
the blacktails are like Central Middle America, and then even like Yucatan Peninsula, stuff like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wow. I know like up here, just because like in Illinois, you have to have, certain permits for like hog noses because they're
They're
native.
native.
So I wasn't sure how it was for you with like, Caribos or, indigos for anybody interested, if that was the same ordeals because they're native. Or I know the indigos though are like
The
endangered.
eastern indigo is
Eastern
federally protected,
indigos.
so you got to get like a permit, and it's this whole shebang. And I'm
One
just
of my
not.
friends, and it's his birthday today, so shout out Sean, here's your episode. The Eastern indigos, um, for sure, they're like highly protected.
I mean,
And
they're gorgeous animals, but they
right,
are definitely suffering due to habitat loss, and
right,
it's a it's a whole ass ordeal to even get one. So like
right.
you know, they're not the same. They're not all the same, but
Mm-hmm.
my dry marcon needs are, you know, I'm good with the blacktails.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to get any other Crebos, I'd get a yellowtail because the yellowtails are so cool. Oh my god, they're so bright.
Are they bigger than the
Yeah,
the blacktails?
yeah, they
Okay.
get longer. They're pretty big. They
Wow.
get pretty long.
So how big? How long?
Like
Because I
probably
know
I
you
would
said you
say
kept you
in
kept your
excess of
guys
eight
in like a
feet.
6 foot. Like,
Yeah, they're both.
okay.
So my male is in a 6 by 2 by 2. My female is in a 5 by 2 by 2.
Okay.
Um, and the blacktails, I would say they get they get big, but the yellowtails get pretty long. I would say 8 or 9 feet, like uh, regularly. Because all the
Hmm.
ones that I've seen when I was like at Nerd or whatever were definitely longer than I am tall by a good margin.
You're like 6'3".
That's what I'm
So
saying, dude.
like
They're big. Like that one that I was showing you earlier was like he's longer than I am tall, and like they're longer than he is. So it's a lot of
oh
noodle.
my
It's a lot of
god.
noodle.
It's a fast moving active noodle too.
Yeah, yeah. But they have the keeled scales too, so they feel super smooth.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Huh.
feels different than like a python or something.
Yeah. Almost um like skinless, because there's like, or scaleless
Yeah, yeah. It's
snakes.
like really smooth. It's really really smooth.
Huh. So what if I were somebody new into trying to get colubrids or like Karibo or something, or beauty snake. What advice would you give to somebody that was like, I want one of those?
I
What do
would
I
say
have
to
to
get a
do? What should
beauty
I
snake.
know? What should I
Beauty
know?
snakes are bullet. You can keep a beauty snake super easily. You probably won't need heat. If you were a newer person, I would tell you to stay away from Kribos because you're going to run into money.
Yeah.
Beauty snakes are relatively affordable. They're very, very hardy. Like mine are both watching me right now. They're so cool. They're so colorful. They don't need any heat. Um, and the Taiwanese beauties are actually pretty heat tolerant.
Huh.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the other ones, like you don't want to keep like the Vietnamese blue beauties. You don't want to get them too hot, or any of
Mm-hmm.
like the. I don't know. I just have heard that the Taiwanese are the most heat tolerant. With that being said, I just don't add supplemental heat. I literally just do nothing, and it's great
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
heat.
So remind me again, what was your ambient temperature?
Right now,
What do you
74.
think? Okay. That's not bad at all.
And in the beauty snake enclosure right now, it's 77. There are
Okay.
heat panels, but they're off. Like they're not even active. They're not even on. It's because I did have
Hmm.
pythons in here before I like
Mm-hmm.
upgraded and stuff. So they just hang out, and when I'm like cooling animals at nighttime, like when I let it get a little colder,
Mm-hmm.
I'll let this room get like 68, 69 degrees, and they do fine.
Huh.
They're out
All right.
cruising. Yeah,
So they're relatively easy, I'd say.
they're bulletproof.
Yeah. Now, if you like, I was also gonna ask because you keep both the shorties and the colubrids. Um, are there different breeding stages or seasons than from like different from each other? So like obviously like the shorties, they like the fall,
Yeah, I was really
winter
successful in the
time.
fall. In the fall with the shorttails. I mean, granted, I'm
Mm-hmm.
1 for 1, so that's anecdotal, right? I haven't repeated that, but
Yeah.
you can really see you can really see it in the males too in the fall with the shorttails.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know with the colubrids. I haven't done anything with them yet. Um,
Okay.
so I'm
Well,
hoping
let
that
us let us know what happens.
I'm thinking it's going to be a spring thing because I'm going to have to brumate or cycle them, and then
Yeah.
after that cycle, put them together. So that's my thought process there. Whereas like
Mm-hmm.
with the pythons, it's just kind of pair and feed, like pair and feed.
Right.
Okay, they stop being interested. Like keep feeding. Then like she'll ovulate. Then you
Mm-hmm.
just wait. Then you set up your incubator. Then you just kind of like
Right.
hang out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a little different. Like I also don't know. Like, am I going to use an incubator for the colubrid eggs? I don't know. Sometimes people hatch
Yeah.
them at room
Yeah.
temperature too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Because if they
I
can
got to
stay in
see.
room temperature, like the eggs, can't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. So I got to kind of like do some playing around with that. I got to kind of I don't know. I got to like read up. I got to talk to some people. Luckily, like
Yeah.
the short tail community is like really, really cool. So like it's easy to reach out to people, and like I was really
Mm-hmm.
able to like Kara basically like walked me through breeding short tail pythons, and
Mm-hmm.
like I can read and do a little bit of reading comprehension, so I was able to
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I have to kind of do that with the colubrids and stuff.
Okay. So I was thinking about it, but I was like, obviously I want to get, educated as well. So maybe I'll hit up Kara too for some advice on, you know, how to what
Step
would
one is
work
having two
best.
animals that are old enough.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, like dude, this guy. Yeah, dude. And then it's just kind of
Well,
you just
he's
kind
the
of put them
only one
together.
that at the moment that I'm like, I mean, I could obviously, again, I could breed the hybrid, but
Don't do that.
everybody's don't do it. Don't do
Don't do
it.
that.
She's a
Yeah,
pet. Just keep her as a
yeah,
pet.
yeah. She's a pet forever. Don't let her.
And I'm okay with that, honestly. I kind of want to. I don't want to say like forget about her, but restart, get a pure blood, know where they're coming from. And I mean, I know where this one came from. This is a Borneo. It's not a hybrid. So I got
Yeah,
one. Now I got two more.
yeah. I mean, the benefits of understanding lineage are
Yeah.
super important. I know the carpet python community takes that very, very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But I know for my animals that I plan to pair, like I have lineage on I have the lineage information on the Sumatrans from Kara. I
Mm-hmm.
have the lineage on Rich Crowley actually produced my T positive albino female
Okay,
way
yeah.
back when, like 2020,
20.
2019.
Okay.
So I have her lineage. I know where the goldeneye that I got from Kevin came
Mm-hmm.
from. I know who he's related to. Um, yeah, I don't. I try to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Especially if
My
I'm gonna pair.
my advice I'd give to somebody new, don't do what I did. Go to somebody if you're truly interested in getting a certain animal. Go to somebody that knows breeds, etc., knows the lineage. Don't go to the pet store unless they have,
Unless they know what they're
proof.
doing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. No, shorttails. Like you said with the hybrids, like that can be, it can be really tough to determine. Um, like you can't look at an animal and be like, oh, that's a hybrid. Someone would have to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And Rich was my guy to be like, ha, you don't got a blood. You have a
Uh,
hybrid.
uh, yeah. No, he knows what he's talking about. He's like, I mean, he wrote the book. Like,
Right. I got the book and it's
yeah, I read
signed.
it. I read it cover to. Oh, it's signed.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Send
Yeah,
it
yeah. I
send
don't.
it to me. Send it to me. I'll have Rich sign it. Send it back.
Maybe I'll follow up with you on that, or maybe I'll
Or go to Tinley.
if you're no, I can't go to Tinley, but if you're going to Tinley, maybe I can. I don't know, orchestrate some sort of book signing. I have Dr. Loafman's book signed, his hardcover book on the false water cobras. I have that signed. I brought that to the first Colubrid Fest, and that was pretty sweet.
That's awesome. I think I was like fangirling. Every time I see Rich, I'm over here fangirling. So I don't know if that was with you for
A little
False
bit,
Water
yeah,
Day.
a lot of it, yeah, yeah. No, it was cool because like I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, I hear your voice through my car speakers all the time because I'm listening to the podcast at work.
Yeah.
And like we're talking and like it's weird to like hear your voice coming from your mouth as opposed
Right?
to like my phone or Spotify. So it was
Yeah.
pretty cool. It was very, very cool.
It makes it very like surreal. Like, oh my God, this is really happening. This
This
is the
is a real
guy.
person. Like, yeah, 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 yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
But they're really like the people that inspired it all, They're like, you know, I don't know.
No, it definitely. I mean, that's part of the reason that you're interested in a specific species or a certain species is just because of the other people in that community.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't even like my story and how I got into the short tails pet shop girl here. Um I saw short tail and I was like, what does that look like compared to like all the ball pythons? So we opened up the lady there opened up the drawer for me and I instantly fell in love with Ma and then the clutch mate and I was like, these are really cool. These are like big bodied snakes, big snakes, little packages.
They're heavy.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're dense.
And
It's dense.
they make me look like a badass.
They're dense animals. Yeah. No, absolutely. They're
But like just the demeanor, the personality.
Throw was
So
watching. they're very
Yeah,
intelligent.
yeah.
They're always like, seeing what you're doing, like what you're up to and stuff.
Mhm.
Mine are watching me right now, like behind the laptop. I
But
have my cages, and they're like, "What are you doing?" They're just like always checking you out, giving you that
yeah.
side eye,
Yeah.
where they're just
I
like,
like it. Or like you'll see like their pupils kind of.
yeah, like constrict and dilate. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. They're certainly an
He
interesting
always looks like
species.
he's mean mugging. He always looks like he's mean mugging
Yeah, he
somebody.
is mean mugging. Look
He's
at that
got
guy.
he's got like the resting bitch face going on all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. Don't they all?
Oh my gosh. Well, I am all out of questions. I don't know if anybody in the chat's got any questions. Anybody's got
I don't
questions?
know. I don't
Liz
know.
said, "Sorry, everybody, I'm late." It's okay. It's posted on YouTube, Liz. You can watch it anytime. Share it, like it, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, do it all.
Yes. And I know you'll have to I wanted to save more of like the short tail and the colubrid stuff for here,
Hmm.
but the next time maybe hit up Kat and Jen for
Yeah, and just
some
talk about
tarantula
invertebrates.
stuff. Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm hoping this next Tenley I get a couple of tarantulas myself.
yeah. I got a list that I gotta add a couple more myself as well.
I know I want to get back into like the little jumpers, which I know I like them.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely cool. I want to get. So I got really lucky. I bought. I was at a show last month and I bought a female C. lividus, a cobalt blue tarantula.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, she was definitely wild caught. I didn't know it at the time because I'm not that like I'm not I'm I started getting into tarantulas in June of last year. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't know that she was wild caught, or I should have known because she was pretty cheap, but she was in wicked good shape. Like I was
Mhm.
looking at her body condition; she looked fantastic, and she laid a friggin' egg
Right.
sack for me. So I
Oh
have I
God.
have an yeah, dude. So I have an egg sack with a C. lividus sitting on it in my incubator, and shout out to Jen. Jen actually was so helpful with that because I messaged her and Kat, and I was like, "Listen, like."
What do I do here?
What's the play? And they're like, all right, you got to message this dude who actually is from Mass. His name's Dritz, and he's friends with
Okay.
Jen. So he's walking me through the process, and I'm going to be seeing him next show that I go to, and hopefully I'll be able to. I don't know if the eggs with legs will be ready by that time. I don't really understand this process. Like I didn't
Yeah.
pair the tarantula. I just like kind of like
You
got
got her.
lucky.
Yeah.
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 So I don't know. It's a great learning experience. That spider hates me for sure. It definitely
It's
hates me. It's wicked nasty, but I
okay.
think
This
it's
whole
so cool.
podcast is about not like, exposing like okay, defensive animals with a reputation, but a cobalt blue.
She hates me.
Okay.
Like it's
They
just what
are
it is,
wild.
dude. It's just what it is, dude. I'm gonna call the spade a spade. Um,
The
but
only
yeah,
way I got a cobalt blue is he passed away. And I was like, this is the only time I'm getting it. I'm saving them. I'm going to do something with them.
yeah,
That's
they're
the only
so
way I
cool
think they'll
looking.
get it.
She's so blue. She's like so blue and so pretty, and then just so nasty. Like
Because she's got
constantly
that.
just like
That's
threat
usually what
posture,
happens
threat
is you
posture,
got
threat
the
posture.
really beautiful or pretty things, but with sassy attitudes. That's how it goes.
Yeah, no, she's definitely like she definitely doesn't play games. Like I really try not to bother her. I just
Yeah.
she guards the egg sac and she'll like eat on the with
She's a good
three legs
mama.
on the egg sac. Yeah, no, she like I have to take the egg sac from her later this month, so I'm gonna have to like fucking fight her with a spoon or something like for that egg
Oh
sac.
my
Like
God.
I know it's gonna be
Yeah.
wild.
I
I'm
hope
gonna
to
I'm gonna
hear
take
from
it on.
you. I
Yeah,
hope
me
to hear
too.
from
I'd love to
you.
hear from you too. I'm gonna get it on video. Like, don't worry, I'll take a video, but I have to pull that from her in a couple. like probably the 19th of this month, the 20th.
Okay, yes, please film, but like I'm praying for your safety.
Yeah, dude, me too. I got some tongs, I got some paintbrushes, like that's all I
That's kind
need.
of like I really want the one of the pokey species. You know, I was telling you about it, and I was also talking to Rob. I was like, I really want a pokey
Pokies are
species,
really
but I
predictable. They're really,
yeah,
really predictable, and they're more likely to run and hide as opposed to threat posture. I've
yeah.
never had a problem with any of my Poecilotheria.
He was
Actually, I
telling
can.
me he was telling me like because I really want the goodies. And he was like,
Oh,
"Well,
the
those are more
peanuts.
prone to
Yeah,
hiding." Yeah, and then the ornamentals, the Indian ornamentals are more
yeah, yeah. I
enclosed,
have
and
two of
they'll come
those.
out more.
Yep,
And I was
they'll
like,
like
"Oh,
chill out. Well, I mean, they
I gotta
know that.
think.
Yeah.
I gotta think. What do I want?"
The ornamentals are sweet. I actually I was talking to I don't know if you know the Arachnids podcast. I was talking to Justin Smith, and he got a there was a paper published on February 18th of this year about Poecilotheria species bite incidents in Sri Lanka. He
Okay.
actually sent me the PDF. I can send it to you. It talks about pokey bites and just like
Yeah.
what happens like in terms of symptoms, just like shit like that. I thought it was
Yeah.
fascinating. So
I'd love to hear from that. I'm all about
yeah,
education and learning and all of that.
definitely not something you want to get bit by, but
Right.
super
I'm
cool.
also like I'm also like stay away from the baboon stuff.
Oh, dude, I love my orange baboons are so well behaved. They're so well behaved as long as you give them space.
They're so pretty, but I'm also like, oh my
But
god.
like the I would rather the tarantula go and like give me a threat posture as opposed to flicking hairs. Like those hairs just
Okay.
suck. So
I
like
have
you
the
get
New World
that.
species.
Yeah,
I
I
have
have
the
those too.
Mexican,
I have plenty.
and I'm itching all over all
Yeah,
day.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good, dude. Because if the tarantula's in a threat posture, you just put a cup over it. You just and it's
True,
like, oh, it's
true,
neutralized. It's in a cup. You know what I mean?
true. Not the air, the hair. The hair will just
Yeah, the hair's
everywhere.
awful.
Oh, Chris says, how much for the golden eye? How much do you have a price yet?
Oh, those ones. I only have one that I could potentially sell in the future. Those ones that I was showing you are unfortunately not for sale.
He's holding them back, Chris.
I know. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry, buddy. I can definitely help you out with one in a couple weeks once she gets her legs under her, for lack of a better term. But
Yeah.
that one that I was showing you, dude, I can't be letting her go. She's too cute.
She's too pretty.
Yeah, no, no, no. She's too good looking.
Gotta be a little selfish sometimes. Yeah, I'd be
You
the
got to be
same
your
way.
best customer. You got to be your best customer when you're. I'm telling you, I
That's
had her marked as soon as I was like, that one. We're gonna. If this one it ends up eating well and stuff, we're gonna keep it, and it's been a great eater.
I think that's gonna be my biggest challenge if I do start breeding is try not to have, 15 holdbacks.
I have I have three or four right now. Um,
Okay.
I'm trying to keep it to either 1.1 or 2.2, depending on
Okay.
what I get for ratios.
Okay. This guy, what are you doing? He's still going. He's still
Hanging,
moving.
doing his thing.
No, but I'm so glad that I got to talk to you, Phil. I loved our
Yeah, thank you
conversation.
so much.
I learned a lot actually about colubrids and different types. So that was really cool.
I mean, I'm glad. Again, I appreciate you asking me to come on. It's great. I got on what
Yeah.
episode 3. That's like it's
Right? You're
early in
the
the
making, the
production,
beginning of it.
so that's awesome.
Yeah. And I want to see that live of you doing the egg sac with the cobalt. Want to make sure you're
That won't be
safe.
live. That'll be like pre-recorded and like
Okay, pre-recorded. I gotta see it. Know that
yeah,
you're
yeah.
alive.
No, no, you'll have it. You'll get it. Don't worry. But that will not be on live in case something, in case I start screaming or something gets out. It's like because she's bolty too. Like she's
Yeah.
got a quick first step. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's what you know what? I'd yell too. I have like a freaking boring curly hair, and if he moves too fast, I'm like, ah, you know.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, no, I get what you mean.
But and I'll let you know too what I get. I'll let everybody know what I get at Tinley. Mostly just looking for tarantulas, but
Mhm.
if I can get a Sumatran, try not to talk myself into it now. We're being good. Self-discipline.
It's so tough. It's so tough to be good.
I will show everybody at Tinley.
Yeah, let me know what tarantulas you get for sure.
Absolutely. But I will see everybody later. Thank you for
Thank you so
joining
much.
us. Awesome. All right, bye everybody. Bye.